Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Skye and today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. So my good friend Jessica on Instagram, I'm going to leave her username right here and her linked down below because she is incredible. She came up with an idea to create a custom palette that you all voted on. She did this in her stories and I really enjoyed it. This is her post right here. I'll also link her post down below, where she got people to make suggestions of like what kind of shades you wanted, what finishes, all of that stuff, and she created a custom palette based on that. And I absolutely love this idea. My good friend Lee, Basket Case Beauty, also did it. I'll also link their post down below. And yeah, basically, we're going to be creating a custom palette together, what you have voted for this. And the way that I did this, I went to my Instagram, beautyybyskye, and on my stories, I asked you a bunch of questions. So starting off strong, I thought we would start with how big should we make the palette? And the suggestions were 6 pan, 9 pan, 12 pan, or bigger, the chaotic option. And here are the results right here. So 6 people voted for 6 pan, very fitting. 28 people voted for 9 pan, 50 people voted for 12 pan, and 7 people decided to be chaotic and choose bigger. So, my apologies to y'all that wanted pure chaos. We are gonna go for a 12 pan. And yeah, we're gonna create the palette together. I actually have no idea, like, how this is gonna look. Like, even though I've written down, like, the tallies of everything, I haven't, like, mentally visualized what it would look like. So yeah, we are going to get right on into it. Let me switch up this camera angle and let's get started. All right, I'm gonna be posting the Instagram stories right here so you can see what I was asking. So the first thing I said was, for eyeshadows, I have palettes that are magnetized, and I was gonna use them in conjunction with my singles, just because it gives us more variety, more options. And the palettes I included are the Colourpop Darth Vader, Kaleidos Sashimi City, Natasha Denona Love, Lethal After Dark, Glaminatrix Nearly Natural, Glaminatrix Sandra Rose Mini, Glaminatrix U Beauty, Glaminatrix Nocturnal, and Glaminatrix Glamorous. I posted a little flat lay of Glaminatrix because I have the most palettes from them and they're all magnetized, and then I asked, which shades do you want? I let you pick whatever you wanted. I don't know if anyone else is a big fan of like statistics and stuff, but yes, I've written all this down. I thought I would show the notebook too. So the most voted shades were G'day, Night Vision, Obscurity, Luda, and Regal. G'day and Night Vision were overwhelmingly the most voted with 4 votes each, and a lot of like single votes for a lot of random ones, but we're just gonna be taking out these top 5. Right, so let's start off with the U Beauty palette, since this one houses G'day right here. It is such a stunning, like orange, like peachy gold, green multi-chrome, and we're gonna do this in kind of a chaotic way. The only way I know how, to be honest. Now, I don't actually own a magnet to take these out, so what am I gonna use instead? A knife. Well, it's kind of like a palette knife, so thoughts and prayers for this eyeshadow. It's one of my favourite eyeshadows in my collection, so if I dig into it, I am going to be a little bit sad. Oh, no! See, I should have bought a magnet for this video, but I decided no, I'm not doing that. And there we go. See who needs a magnet when you have slightly precarious methods. And real quick, I'm just gonna already put that shade in this palette just so it's there. Rightio, the next 2 come from my beloved baby Nocturnal, and it is Night Vision and Obscurity. Night Vision is this lovely green, like, brown duochrome, and Obscurity is this stunning periwinkle matte. I want to try and do this so you can actually see me taking them out, but filming this is kind of difficult. Oh shit, that was a lot easier than I thought. Hell yeah, Obscurity, let's go. And now we're on to Night Vision. My hands are very shaky. I really should have reconsidered this. Oh! That's so good. I just literally like smushed it, like stabbed it in the corner, and it just popped out. I mean, look at that. Look at that shade. Bruh, a little bit of it got a Milky Way. Oopsie whoopsie. I think every palette that's ever made should be magnetized. I'm just saying, it just makes it so much easier, so much more versatile. I don't know why I'm doing my really bad Wales accent. So yeah, there is Night Vision and Obscurity. So far, I mean, that's an interesting colour selection. Oh, I completely forgot that there is actually a 3rd shade in the Glaminatrix Nocturnal, and that's Luna. I thought Luna was in the Glamorous, which is why I didn't think. It's this shade right here. My apologies. It's like a blue-purple duochrome. Ooh! I think this would work really nicely, actually, considering we've got obscurity. Like, oh god, this is stressful. I'm trying to find, like, the perfect divot to, like, stab it. There we go. We got there. That right there is Luna. Oh, super pretty. It's not a shade that I use super often, but it is very gorge. So yeah, that will go in the palette. Actually, you know what? That kind of works really nicely. Granted, I mean, 3 of these shades are from the same palette, so naturally they would work, but you know. And the final Glaminatrix shade is the shade Regal, which is a lovely purple. I think we can sense a bit of a theme here. Greens, blues, and purples, with a pop of, like, orange. Also, if you're curious, the Glaminatrix pans don't have the names written on the back, which I don't think that's a big deal. You can always add your own labels if you are, like, mixing this in with your singles. But yeah, something to note in case you were solely buying these to put as singles. Okay, and that is going to be it for all the Glaminatrix palettes. So now we are moving on to the other palettes. Now here is kind of mixed. As you can see, most people voted a lot for a lot of different shades, but the top 3 were Lethal Sequence, Lethal Replica, and Natasha Denona Dream from the Love palette. So we're gonna take those shades out. Let's start with Lethal first. So this right here is the Lethal After Dark palette. Replica is this green matte, and Sequence is this purple lavender shade, which I think will complement really nicely because we do have like a bit of like a Beetlejuice theme going on. So I think those mattes are actually like perfect. Wait, this palette, I forgot, it literally has holes at the back that you can poke the shadows out. I am silly. Do I have anything pointy? Yes, I do. I've got this tool. It's like a pair of tweezers that are just deathly pointy. Oh, look at that. So nice. And yes, I did write with Sharpie the names on the back, because I did like to use these with my singles a lot. I mean, they are basically single shadows, just in a palette. Whoa. Very good, very nice. Of course, we will be rearranging the palette, but there is Sequence and there is Replica. Okay, and Dream comes from the Natasha Denona Love palette, and this palette also has little holes at the back. By the way, bloody smart. Very smart that Natasha Denona does this. I mean, I feel like for the price you should. And Dream is this purple matte right here. It's one of her like cream to powder matte formulas. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like this formula. I was a little bit like, oh damn it, when I saw that it was getting voted quite a lot, but we shall include it. My biases aside, it is what the people voted for, and I am a man of the people. Yeet. And also, yes, I did also write on the back of these with Sharpie. I should probably do that with all my Glaminatrix ones, but I haven't gotten around to it. And here is Dream. It's so tiny. It's so tiny compared to the other ones. How cute. Okay, now we're moving on to the actual single shadows in my collection. So I first showed you 2 palettes. One was blue and purple, and one was like rainbow like singles. And the way that I wanted people to decide was say, oh, palette 1, row 2, shade 3, for an example, just so I could, like, you know, do a little bit of battleship. So we're gonna start off with the blue-purple palette. So these are the stats. Terra Moon Ceres, like, outrageously got so many votes. Terra Moon Star Sign and Shine by SD Reserve number 5 were the top 3. So those are the shades we're gonna pick out right now. But as you can see, we also had votes for Reserve number 6, Terra Moon's Half Moon, which is one of my favorite shades. Same with Terra Moon's The Cosmos. We also have Chaos Stir Imagine. So this is my blue-purple palette. It's a really old, crusty, dusty Colourpop one. As you can see, it's very dirty. I've cleaned it multiple times. It's still dusty. I don't want to talk about it, bro. So yeah, the most popular one was Terra Moon's Ceres, which is this, can I be careful with it? It's this shade right here. It's like a denim blue with like a peach gold duochrome flip to it. And we also had Terra Moon's Star Sign, which is this shade right underneath. And this is like an indigo blue purple with like green and pink purple sparkles to it. And the other shade is Reserve number 5 by Shine by SD, which I'm pretty sure it's this shade. Is it? Yeah. Reserve number 5. Honestly, one of my favourite purple singles. It is like such a flaky formula and it's just stunning. It's so pretty. I mean, look at that. And now we're moving on to the rainbow singles palette, and as we can see, overwhelmingly, The most popular was Glam Shop Banana Cream, which is a bright yellow matte. I love that shade, it's one of my favourite mattes in my collection. And the top 4 also include Glam Shop Turbo Snap, Glam Shop Turbo Cotton Candy, and Terra Moon's Coalescence. Yeah, the winner with 3 votes is this shade, Glam Shop Banana Cream, a lovely yellow matte. And we also had Glam Shop Turbo Snap be highly voted. It's like a pink, blue, purple shimmer. We also had Turbo Cotton Candy, which is this one. It's more of a peachy pink, sheer sparkly shade. I love this shade, it's one of my favourites in my collection. And of course the final shade was Terra Moon's Coalescence, which is one of my favourite shadows in my collection. It is a beautiful lime green that shifts to an emerald green, has pink and gold sparkles to it. It's magical. And yeah, as we can see, we've started to fill up the palette, so I'm gonna put Coalescence in there for now, and I'm just gonna place these shades, like, actually, would this work? You're gonna see the mirror, so we're gonna hopefully do it like this. I'm gonna cover the mirror with the shadows. Now we are choosing my Cliona shades, and I did the same sort of shade selection where we did like a little battleship moment and you could choose which shade, and here are the results. As we can see, the most voted eyeshadow in this entire video is Oculus, with 5 votes. And in the top 4, we also have Glazed, Enamel, and Vermilion. I'm actually so surprised that Oculus was the most highly voted. I guess because it's a jeweled multi-chrome and, you know, it's the most unique, like, shadow in my collection because I don't have any other jeweled multi-chromes. It's the only one I own. But these are all of my Cliona shades. I mean, look at those shifts. Ugh. Gorgeous. And as we can see, I have pan and heirloom. How am I getting all these pans after I filmed my, like, panning makeup video? Like, honestly, very annoyed. Yes, due to the nature of Cliona's shadows being like a rectangle, we're gonna have to do the chaos method once again. So this shade right here is Oculus. It is a jeweled multi-chrome. The next highly voted one is Glazed, which is this shade right here. One of my favorites ever. It's just, there's something about it. It's a lavender with, like, pink and gold sheen. I just love it. And let's see if I can get this out with minimal damage. Oh, wait, I think I've got a technique down. Yes. Poking the corner and then lifting it is the strat. Look at that big old dip I've got going on in there. I love Glazed. I can see myself as hitting pan on this, like, very, very soon. I really want to hit pan on more of my Cliona shades and all of my singles as well. Like, it just satisfies me seeing all the dips, you know? And then Enamel was highly voted, and that is this shade right here. I'm starting to notice a theme. We really like purples, don't we, gang? Very indigo, and it has like a warm purple duochrominess to it. Yeah, y'all really like purples. I'm looking at the palette right now. Like, I'll show it to you after, but it is so purple. And then a bit of a wild card, Vermilion was also in the top 5, which is this shade, and I love Vermilion. I mean, look at it in the pan, like that is... Let's see if I can do a little bit of a Tetris to get this boy out. Come on. There we go. Now we can just yeet. It's just such a beautiful, like, pink, copper, gold, green multi-chrome. It's one of their deep iridescents, and I want to get the rest of their deep iridescents. I only have 2 of them, but this formula is just my favourite from Cliona. And that will wrap up the Cliona palette. Now let's look at what it looks like so far. As we can see, you guys really like purple, don't you? With like a pop of pink and yellow and green. But y'all like purple. I mean, I'm not surprised. I feel like Jess and Lee's palettes also were very blue, purple, green heavy. But yeah. The penultimate category is my iridescent shadows. I showed off my iridescent singles palette, did the same, like, idea with the same key, and here are the results. Now, as we can see, there is no actual clear winner here. So I don't really know what to do. From top to bottom we have Divina Yumlicks, Divina Cake Bomb, Terra Moon's Seddon's Rings, Terra Moon's Red Giant, Terra Moon's Zero Gravity, and Glam Shop Moondust. Now I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all of these shadows out And once we like do a bit of shifting and like rearranging, we'll see which iridescent complements the palette the most and choose that one. And also while we're here, I'm just gonna show you the final category, which was color inspiration. Now I put a story saying if you were too overwhelmed with picking out like any shades, like specifically, just choose a color like finish and shade type, basically. And this is what y'all chose. So we have a dark blue matte, a dark green matte, a dark berry matte, y'all like dark mattes, a black matte, pastel yellow matte, and a periwinkle, any finish. Now, if we look at the palette right here, we could already say that we defo have like a periwinkle in any finish, probably in all finishes, to be fair. We have a yellow, it's not pastel, but it is a yellow. Black matte is also like part of this lineup, which we could choose. I'm not too sure. I think I'll do the same as the iridescence, like I'll whip out like a berry matte, a black matte, and do I even have a dark green single? I probably do. We'll whip out these ones as singles and then we'll see what we can kind of come up with, but let me first go and get my iridescent palette. See, this palette is even just iridescent as well. It is magical. Also, I bought a ring light. You might have been able to tell with the lighting, it's a lot better. And honestly, ring lights, very, very brilliant. Okay, so Divina Yum Licks is this one. We have Divina Cake Bomb, which, is that cake? Yeah, this is Cake Bomb. We have 3 big boys from Terra Moons, so we have Sadin's Rings. We have Red Giant, and we also have Zero Gravity. And we also have Glam Shop Moon Dust as well, one of my favourite iridescents. So I'm just gonna put these shades along the top of the palette because I don't want to pick out too many iridescent shadows since it was so like evenly split. We're only going to pick out one, but I defo want an iridescent shade. I mean, it's me, of course I do. Okay, so the black matte, I'm going to whip out the Nocturnal palette, because I know that we have one. We have Shadow right here. Come on, please, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. I don't want to bend the shadow. Ooh, there we go. That was more stressful than anticipated. Okay, now dark blue matte. I know that I have a navy matte from Nabla right here. It is, I think it's called Blue Velvet. Yeah, Blue Velvet. I repanned it into a smaller pan because Nabla's pan sizes are slightly too big, and it bothers me, so I repanned them. Now, dark green matte. The only thing I have close to a dark green matte is from the Sandra Rose mini palette from Glaminatrix, and it's this shade right here, Leaf. Now, I will be honest, I did rearrange my Glaminatrix, Sandra Rose mini, so this isn't the original arrangement, but I think the shade was Leaf anyway, so I think we're fine. I'm pretty sure this is the shade Leaf. If not, I'll list it on the screen right here, like I'll double check for you. But that is our dark green matte, and these shadows are so tiny and baby, they're so cute. And yeah, dark berry matte, we're gonna whip back into Glaminatrix and we're gonna go into Glamorous, because I know we have this shade, which anytime I think of dark berry, I think of a shade just like this. This is Tempting. There we go. And I think those deep mattes will anchor everything really nicely. So this is the current selection we have. Let's start shifting. I believe we have 30 shades right here, so all of y'all that voted for a bigger palette, I think this would have been it, to be honest. I think we probably would have edited it down a little bit, but we're gonna try and make a 12 pan palette. Now, getting shadows from 30 down to 12 is gonna be a bit of a hassle. So, I'm first just gonna move these iridescent shadows out of the way because we're just going to be using those as like an anchor to the palette. We're not going to be building it around those. Okay, now the way that I want to do this is that I want to consult my like little spreadsheet, if you will, and the shadows that we are definitely including, so the shadows with 4 and 5 votes, so we definitely are including Oculus because that was the most voted shadow. We are also including G'day. Actually, let me move everything down a bit. Also including Night Vision. Okay, those 3 were the most voted shadows with 4. Now we're gonna select the ones that had 3 votes, which were Obscurity, Luna, where are you? There you are. And Regal. We also had 3 votes for Sequence, 3 votes for Ceres, and 3 votes for Banana Cream, 3 votes for Glazed also. And then those are all the shadows that are the most voted shadows. So this section right here are the shadows we must include. So let me actually do a little summon. Let me move these all over here. So we need 2 more shadows. Now one of those shadows is going to be an iridescent shadow, and one of them can be any of the other shadows that we have picked out. So let me first think. The shadow that I kind of want, we have quite a few options for like what iridescent we could choose. We could choose something like purpley, like Zero Gravity from Terra Moons, which is that beautiful, like, almost like a black light sort of glow. We could also choose something yellow, like Saturn's Rings. I think that would really complement everything. Could do Moon Dust as well. The other 2, while I do enjoy these shadows, I feel like they're not ones I really wanna... Or do I? No, I'm gonna whittle it down to half. So one of these iridescents is gonna be in our palette, so I'm actually just gonna swatch them out. This is Saturn's Rings. We have Zero Gravity. Ugh, one of my favorite shadows, bro. And then we also have Moon Dust. Again, super gorgeous. Honestly, all 3 of these could work. And honestly, if I could have it my way in a 12-pan palette, I would have 3 different iridescent shadows, but we're not gonna do that, we're not gonna do that. I think because Glazed is such a light lilac with purple and pink and gold shine, like there's a lot of gold shine to this one, and Ceres also has, like, it's like a pale shade with a gold shine. I think we're gonna eliminate Saturn's Rings, because I feel like having an iridescent with a gold shine would just be a bit... I mean, it would work, but I think it'd be a bit too samey, if that makes sense. I think I'm leaning towards Glam Shop Moon Dust, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know, that looks... I really like that. That's the one I'm gravitating towards, so I think I'm gonna use that one. So let's actually, hang on, let me start again. Let me start from the top. Now, the obvious choice would be to put like a dark green matte to kind of like complement Night Vision right here. Or we could even do like Replica like that, which also would work really nicely. I think that shade, it's not, the undertone's not really working for me, so I'm not going to use that one. Replica is definitely like one that I'm thinking, heavily considering. We could put Star Sign in there. Again, I really feel like all of these shadows would work in there, but again, that just kind of gives it a bit too much blue. That's a maybe. I'm putting that in the maybe. See, that would just give a bit too much purple, and I think, again, I'm going to say this for all of it. It works, but maybe not. We could do a wild card, to be fair. I just feel like that's kind of jarring. And not in like a complimentary way. I think that just doesn't work. Again, maybe like a more tame wild card, because this does have like a green shift to it. I really love Coalescence, bro. It's one of my favorite shadows, so maybe I'm biased by wanting to put it in here. But again, it brings in a bit of green that we have here. And also like kind of this quad would be a bit more green. And this is kind of too similar to that shade. So... okay, we've eliminated like 6 shades. And we have 4 in the maybe pile. It has that green shine, but I think the pinky base, while it is, like, it does... actually, wait, you know what? These 2 shades are similar vibes. They're not dupes by any means. This one has more of a pink base. But the vibes are very, very similar, and... I think to eliminate too much similarity, we're gonna eliminate Vermilion. I have to be picky, I have to be picky. Then we only have 1 green shimmer, and I'd rather have... I think we're eliminating Replica. I'm doing it. I have to be ruthless. A black would be fun, but I want to pull in more green. A berry would be fun, but I want to pull in more green. Deep blue would work, but I want to pull in more green. Okay, I think we made a decision. Let's put them together, shall we? Okay, I slightly switched up the arrangement because I kind of prefer it. Alrighty, and right here are the swatches of the Community palette. I love this color story so much. There's so much blue, purple, pop of yellow, green. Like, these are some of my favorite colors to wear. Alright, now this is a bit of a different camera angle, but my camera battery is about to die, and since this video I've been filming for so long, I'm actually gonna do a part 2 to this video where I do a look using this palette. So thank you for building this palette with me, I really appreciate it, and stick around for part 2, which will hopefully be coming at some point later next week. We'll see. I'll try and get up as soon as possible doing a look with this. And yeah, so that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do let me know. Do you like this palette? Yeah, if you want to follow me on my social media, it's beautyybyskye right here. Do follow me on there. I post every single day. I also have my own small business, Rain Cloud Candles Co. I feel like Rap God right now because I'm speaking so fast, but I'm a small queer-owned business based in the UK and we make handmade candles. The link to the shop will be down below, along with our social media if you'd like to support us. If you're watching this on 2x speed, I'm very sorry. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you here. And as always, stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I can breathe now. Bye!